Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be going over the new game mode they released, and it is now the easiest way to collect corrupted presents from what I have seen, and proof on today's video as well. But basically I'm just going to be going over the best tips. It is night shift, that is the new game mode. The best tips to completing this with the highest amount of power you can. Of course there's probably better guides out there, but this is my kind of most efficient way to get at least above 70% every time, which should ensure you a very good chance at getting a corrupted present every time. So we actually enlisted Mr. Dinosaur Seb here. He's kind of just in my lobby, and I didn't want to get my ult on here. So I just told him not to place anything down. You are going to want to take this as slow as you possibly can. I left it at 1 time speed on purpose, because if you go up to 3 times speed, or 2 times speed, sorry, it is going to be a little bit too quick to manage, and you really need to be everywhere at once. You need to be basically placing your highest power unit, which mine is Investigator Apollo. You can probably get it done with a regular Investigator Apollo, but you're going to want to be placing it all the time and then immediately selling it as to not consume enough power to keep going down too much. So as you can see, we're already at 1 a.m. and we're still at around 94%. I sped the footage up here. We're now at 4 a.m. with still above 80%. So this does work. This is a very good way to keep consistent power, and you need the highest amount of power to get the highest amount of rewards. The rewards are directly tied to how much power you have, it seems. So you need to have as much power as you can every single time. So yeah, basically the whole thing is just place down, sell, place down, sell. Make sure you're bouncing between as much as you can. You want to wait for these enemies to group up as much as you can as well. As you see all these enemies grouped up here, you're trying to get as much damage out as possible on as many enemies as possible. So 6 a.m. we got the win. We didn't get the corrupted present this run, but we will get a corrupted present, I assure you. But that was a basic rundown of what our strategy is, or what my strategy is, and I'm sure most people will say the same thing. 2 people seems to be the most optimal. I could be wrong, let me know in the comments. But again, you're waiting for, like this for example, it didn't go exactly as planned. 1 Chica got out, but if I placed it 1 second earlier, that might not have happened, and that would have been a huge power saver, because I'm killing multiple enemies with just 1 placement. I end up just letting this guy go through instead. I believe unfortunately he did lose his run because I did that, but speed up to another run. We're at 6 a.m. here on the next run already, and you can see there's a huge clump of enemies heading towards this exit, so I'm just taking it as slow as possible as to not waste any more power, since we're still at about above 70%. So we're just gonna keep going here. 73%, 6 a.m. Very good place to be in, and we're basically just waiting. We're trying to be, you know, as cautious as we possibly can on the power consumption, because again, that is directly tied to the rewards. If you want corrupted presents for OMC or whatever, you need to be as high as you can. We end up finishing this night at 71.1% and getting a corrupted present. So that's why I'm pretty sure it is tied to how much percent of power you can keep up. So make sure you're trying the best you can. And again, not every run is going to go well. You could get this down. I don't really play this mode enough, but I did understand basically what the whole strategy was here. But not everyone's gonna go to plan. Sometimes you're just stuffed with too many enemies at once. If you have your other teammate maybe placing stuff down, but I feel like you're gonna go through power a little bit faster that way. So you need to be very cautious with that. But again, not everyone's gonna go to plan. We kind of just got way too many enemies. We got 2 bosses as well. It was very hard to keep up with. I just couldn't. I was trying my best to carry through this, but I think these little barriers too, don't let your enemy hit beyond them, which is also a little frustrating. So if you let an enemy get a little bit too far, it's just not going to work properly. So again, here we are. They're going to get past because he's not able to extend, or it's just Apollo's moon's not able to do what he's supposed to be doing right now. So unfortunately, this was a lost run even at 5 a.m. because again, it gets very hard to keep up in the later times. I got these endos running towards that exit right there, but I gotta go check this exit because the golden freddys are pretty much right there as well, and they're at about the same speed, about the same distance from each exit. So I keep this down a little bit too long. Stuff to kind of just learn as you go, especially if you're grinding this mode, but I keep it down for a little bit too long. I cannot get back in enough time because these guys got too much health. So unfortunately that is the run there. But if you guys liked the video, please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what your guys' best strategy is in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.